Hello, fans of quality entertainment who might have turned into this channel by mistake. So I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a contest video for one of my best friends, Mr. Mike over at MGK Boston, still calling himself that, even though he lives in Buffalo now. I get it. It's kind of a big deal to change the name of your channel, right? He didn't want to probably lose it, leave, come back, whatever the deal is. He's got this established following that is already so huge that he's shooting for 1 trillion subscribers. That's right. Him and his lovely wife, Patty Cheesecake, as he likes to call her, wink, wink. They made a video where they're doing a contest and they want to get to 1 trillion subscribers. Well, that's just fantastic. What a fat head this guy has, thinking that he might get to 1 trillion subscribers. But nonetheless, we love the guy, so we're going to make our videos and support him. Now, just like our buddy Mike, I do like to enjoy to have a beer while I'm filming, although, granted, mine are normally better than what Mike is drinking. I know, if I spent less money on beer, on good beers, I could buy some more records maybe. But I really don't know if it would work out that way. And I don't want to make that sacrifice. So anyway, hey, I know I'm supposed to get extra points if I have somebody with me. So both of my cats are in here. Normally, every now and then you'll see Selena. I'm going to show you why. Oh, there she goes. The other cat ran from me. All right, come here. We're going to have to show you again. So once again, this is Selena. Hello, hello. My other cat, Brella, is standing right over there. If I go to try to pick her up right now, she knows something is up. So she would run away. All right, let's get on with this contest. We got all these questions to answer. Number 1, where do you like to go on vacation? Well, I've been to various places, some memorable ones. Been to, Colorado. That was beautiful. Been to California a couple times. I don't know, Florida, Tennessee, places like that. But I will say last year we went to Michigan. We went up near the Upper Peninsula. We went up to the Mackinac Bridge. We went across it, but we were staying there in Mackinac City. That was really beautiful, really great. And I think we might go back there this year. We might go back, but this time we might go further up into the Upper Peninsula and, see some of the other Great Lakes. So that's really cool. If you haven't been there, where would you like to go? Well, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever get there, but, I'd love to see the United Kingdom, the countries in there. That would be fantastic. I'd like to go to Germany. Those places over there in Europe. It would be cool to go. I kind of have this fantasy of going to one of these countries, whether it's like, England, Germany, Ireland, somewhere kind of like out in the country, not, not in the middle of the city or whatever, stopping in at a pub somewhere, having some drinks and just listening and watching the locals in there. Okay, number 2, name a solo artist that everyone seems to love, but you can't stand. Okay, so these 2 artists, they've been making music for emasculated males for quite a long time now, and that would be Bruce Cockburn and John Mayer. Both of them useless. Name a band that everybody seems to love, but you don't really care about. Arcade Fire. There you go. Show a jazz album. Now, here we go, right? He likes to call me Physical Format Jazz. Likes to make fun of me a little bit there, which is fine. I love it, because I don't really care about jazz that much. But look at that. There you go, folks. Who says I don't have any jazz? Still got the Hype label on there, Hype sticker, and everything. We got Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. Famous, one of the more famous jazz albums of all time. So there you go. Gary at Physical Format Jazz. Next, show a country album. Mike likes his country. He likes his country music, and I say hats off to him because he has the guts to do that. A lot of people, they poo-poo all over country music because they're just too sophisticated for it, evidently. Although he did use the term country western, which is ridiculous. Nobody says country western anymore. Mike, I don't know why you did that. But cheers to you anyway, brother. So I'm going to show Music Man by Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings, one of my all-time favorite country artists. Got a lot of stuff by him, whether it's on cassette, CD, vinyl, whatever. This actually is probably one of the first albums. No, it's not. This is probably the second album I ever owned by Waylon, but I had it on 8-track way back in the day. Next, who is your favorite sports team or athlete of all time? Well, you know, I do like sports quite a bit. Sports don't like me. I think it's pretty obvious if you guys watch when it comes to football. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I'm a diehard fan. I have been for the majority of my life. You know, baseball is definitely Cleveland Guardians. You know, like the Blue Jackets in hockey. As far as having a favorite athlete, I don't know. A player that comes to my mind for the Vikings is Scott Studwell. He played back in the late 70s and throughout the 80s. Middle linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. Just a tough guy. No nonsense guy. Man, did not need to do any kind of silly stuff. Just made his tackle, tugged his shoulder pads, got back up. Tough guy. Next, shout out to a newer vinyl community channel. Oh, I missed a question here. Share a concert memory. Okay, so I'm going to share one. The first time I've seen Roger Waters solo 3 times. And the first time was like, I don't know, I want to say like 2007. And my oldest son was with me. He was pretty young at the time. We drove over and seen it. And it was just such a well-done show. And really enjoyed it. Big fan of Pink Floyd. So to be able to see, you know, kind of like the brainchild behind Pink Floyd, that was great. It was really cool. The first half of the show, they did like just various songs. The second half of the show, they did the entire Dark Side of the Moon album, and that was great. Really loved it. Probably one of my favorite memories of that show, besides a lot of people coming up to my son because he had his, you know, Dark Side of the Moon show, and pretty cool young kid like you's here. They did Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun off A Saucer Full of Secrets, and that was just fantastic. The video they had behind it, like with the sun coming up, and you're kind of going over it, and it sounded so cool. So that was really great. Okay, that shout out to a newer vinyl community channel. Okay, they're not new, but they haven't been around that long. They're more newish to me, and that is Ed over there on my turntable. Really knowledgeable guy. He's got, you know, quite the variety of music. Very intelligent. Nice guy. I just like him. So on my turntable, you know, make sure you go check Ed out. Great guy. And subscribe to him. Show an album by a Canadian artist. All right. How about Call the Wild by Lee Aaron? Lee Aaron, of course, is from Canada. And when she does concerts, she only plays in Canada right now. She never comes down to the U.S. anymore. So that kind of sucks because I would like to see her. Now, I know some people, you know, they're like, hey, I only like to listen to male vocals. You know, it's got to have the penis or I won't listen to it. Well, you know, I'm not like that. I listen to male vocalists. I listen to female vocalists. That's just the way I roll, kids. So there you go. Lee Aaron, Call of the Wild. Next up. This is a final question, I think. Yeah. Show an album that was released the year you were born. Okay, so here we go. I've done this before. That's no secret. But I was watching our friend Brian at the Embryonic Robot. Now, you know, unfortunately, he's a product of the dumpster fire that is obviously the Canadian educational system. He gets confused by questions. He said, you know, oh, well, this is open to interpretation and whatever he said, some kind of silly nonsense. So, you know what? It's not his fault. Not his fault, right? So I am going to help him out. And I will show an album that was released in the year that Brian, Embryonic Robot, was born. And that is Surfin' Safari by the Beach Boys. Love the Beach Boys. So I thought he would love that representation. This came out in 1962. So that is the year that Brian the Embryonic Robot was born. So there you go. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. This went a little bit longer than I thought, but I can't help it, man. This is for my good buddy Mike and Patty over at MGK Boston, the king of the VC meetup. So go check out Mike if you haven't already. Check out my buddy Ed over on my turntable. And cheers to you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Gary. This is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Until the next time, my friends, I will see you down the road.